Welcome back to Sand Shark Customs. It's been a long time, and I want to apologize to everybody that's watching this because I bit off way more than I could chew with too many business projects. I had my Dune report launch. We were trying to get the Hemi swap wrapped up. Just way too much stuff trying to get it all done. But I'm back, and I'm creating videos every weekend now. Everything's going really well. So let's talk about a little bit where we're at. The Jeep, for the most part, is done. You can see it all laid out through here. We still have some minor wiring to get, wrapped up, but that's stuff that we can work on as time allows. There's nothing that isn't running right now. Yeah, I mean, the bumper's back on the front, everything works, fires. I've even driven it to a couple Jeep events already. Shout out to the people over in Lowell at the Gen Right Jeep event. That was a fun event to go to, so if you get an opportunity to go do it, you should. So let's talk about where we're at, what we had to go through to get this all buttoned up. I did shoot a lot of video of different sections of what I did, like the wiring harness and getting stuff all back together. And over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks here, I've been receiving a lot of questions. Some of them about like the transmission cooler lines. That's one that I'll hop under and I'll show what's going on with that. Some of the stuff about the adapter plates for the transmission, I'll go under and I'll show that. Matter of fact, I'll probably film that piece tonight because one of the big hurdles that I struggled with for a solid 2 weeks, this one was unexpected, but we had to deal with it, and that's what we did. So the original transmission I had gotten with the Jeep SRT8 engine turned out to be bad. As I would drive it down, it would get really weird shift patterns, and then once it got up into fifth gear, it would never come down. It just would never come down. So we battled with, is it the valve body? I swapped out valve bodies. I tested numerous times with a bunch of different individuals. Ben from JKU Gear and Gadget's been an awesome help with testing that, so shout out to him. Yeah, so we battled with it for, man, a solid 2 months. No, sorry, 2 weeks. And I just got fed up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go find a new transmission. So I found at a local salvage yard here. It was out of this is an interesting story. It was a 8 HP 70 transmission out of a 2018 2500. And I was under the impression that that would be fine. So it's not actually fine. So what happens is the 18, it's like a mixed bag with the transmission. You could be getting an 8 HP 70, or you could get the upgraded model that they use, which is the 8 HP 75. Sometimes, yeah, I don't even know how to explain it properly, but nonetheless, I lucked out and actually got one that was from that time frame that was for that correct transmission that we need. So this over here is the actual torque converter off of that transmission that I had bought. The only way that you can tell that this could be one that doesn't work, and this is one of the rare ones that actually did work, so it has this big knob on the end of the torque converter. That's the only way you know that that's one, based on the experience of Jeep Speed Shop and myself. That's the way that you can tell that that's the transmission that's not going to work. I had swapped the torque converter to the Scat Pack torque converter that was actually for the Scat Pack engine, and everything aligned and fit right. I didn't know any better at the time, drove it around, everything seemed great, except I had the truck valve body in there, which means that it struggles to get into 7th gear, and it won't use the manual shifters. So yeah, so we've been dealing with that. I've been working with Jeep Speed Shop. I have a replacement valve body. I don't know if it's called the computer controller or whatnot, but it's here. So about 30-40 minutes ago, I started draining the transmission fluid. Oh, a couple things about this new transmission. So this new transmission only has 11,000 miles on it, basically brand new. We're talking price here, so $840 with no core charge. So I look at that as pretty good. I probably should have bought that in the first place, now that I think back at it. Yeah, so some of the other things. I sold the other 6.4 liter motor, so that's gone out of here. I used some of that money and happened to come across some 40s sitting right here that I don't know really why I bought them. I like the rims and I got them for a killer price, so I was okay with it. I'm probably just going to sell the rubber, but the rims I'm going to keep. And yeah, so there's one of the rims right there. They look really nice and they're offset, so it'll fit really well on something. I have my Dodge Ram truck out there I could put them on, or my Jeep WJ right there too that I could put them on too. I don't know. We'll figure out what we're going to do with the tires. So the goal for today, let's swap out the transmission valve body while it's under there. It's going to be messy. I'm going to get something all over the place, I'm sure. We have other upgrades that we want to do, like these are new inner fender covers for the both fronts. And then I picked up some temporary new Bilstein 5100 shocks that are made for the lift kit that I have. That, yeah, we're just gonna get them on there, and they're temporary because we're gonna end up going with a long arm coilover model. But for right now, I just need to get through like the season. That's the goal, get through the season, and we can start cranking on it again in the winter. So that should get me through, unless I break something. I mean, to be honest, I'm running the Dana 30 front, so there's a good chance that I could end up breaking that and have to upgrade a lot sooner. So we'll see how that goes. The Hemi fires, it is wonderful. A couple things that I'm gonna do with the exhaust. So I went and had custom exhaust made. It has a true dual MagnaFlow exhaust, and I did not go with cats. The reason I did not go with cats is I'm going to do a video of what it sounds like without cats, then we're going to add some cats, and then I'm going to do a true decibel reading with that. Then we're going to put on some resonators and do a decibel reading with that. So that's kind of what the idea is right at the moment. Yeah, I think we get to this here. So underneath, you can see where I started draining everything. So I'm gonna hop under there, and I gotta lower the cross member to get access to all the bolts. But yeah, we're just gonna get right to this. One thing I am doing, this is different because I wanted to see what was truly, out there for transmission fluids. A lot of people say use the Mopar factory approved transmission fluid, but I'm actually going to try something different. I mean, I figure I've swapped that transmission out twice now. What's the third time if I break this one? So I'm actually going with the Valvoline Max Life ATF transmission fluid. Now, you can buy this in a gallon, at least here in Michigan, for like $17.95 versus, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's what it is for a quart of whatever the Mopar approved stuff is. Now, on the Valvoline website, it does say that it qualifies specs to work in the AHP 70. So I'm going to put that to the test. You live, you learn. All I know is I've swapped out like 5 gallons over the last, 3 weeks worth of working on this transmission. So I'm glad I wasn't using the actual Mopar approved transmission fluid. So we're gonna go give it a try, and yeah, maybe I'll do a follow-up in a year and let you know if this transmission blew up or not. So I hope it doesn't, but we'll find out. If you have questions about the swap, specific to anything, put them in the comments. I want to follow up with them and kind of go over every element that I know that I did. I mean, everything's functional. Heat, air, wiring is all done. The fan works. Everything's good to go. And I have some specific videos that I'm going to create. So thanks for watching again. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, I appreciate it. Oh, everybody that bought t-shirts, you guys are sweet. It was so cool getting orders while I wasn't actually posting videos. We'll move on from that. I'm going to hop underneath this and start taking off the pan of the transmission. All right, talk to you in a few. Okay, I tell you, that is an absolute pain in the butt. I highly suggest that Oh, my hat's all messed up. There we go. I highly suggest that if you're going to take the valve body out, you take it out while the engine is out, because you don't want to deal with it after it's inside here. A little quick view. It is a mess. You can see right here, absolute mess. And since my exhaust is right below there, I had to jack up the transmission a little bit to even get the pan off. Oh, man. That's absolute pain in the butt. But let's go look at this. I got the valve body off here. So what we have to do is swap out the computer for the valve body here. And you can see this is the valve body that Jeep Speed Shot sent me. That's programmed properly. This is the computer. This is the valve body. The valve body is actually flipped upside down right here. So we can see that if I flip this over, we have the computer right here. So what do we need to do to get that computer off? There are a few bolts here, and we'll point to them real quick, that we have to remove in order to get this piece off of here. Perfect. Cool. So we're going to take those out all the way here, and then we're going to put this new computer on. So you can see if it's as easy as just lifting up. Oh, it is.
Can we hold?
To get this off, if you just take a little pick or something, you just gotta push. All I did was push right where that little circle is in here, and it just pops up. So now we have the exact duplicate of what we're about to put in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one, and I'm gonna set this one back on. Did I get that back in? Make sure. Okay, so there's no real gaskets or anything on there. Okay. So now that this has to go in here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hold it up like this. Okay, which ones were they again? Right here? Mm-hmm. Wait, which one?
Yeah, here.
Okay, cool. So now that we have the valve body computer swapped here, I also verified that we have the seals here and here, and yeah, we're gonna make sure that we don't lose anything inside the water. I know that we dropped a bolt in there, but that is what it is, and we're gonna go finagle this back into place. And I'm not gonna film it because it's an absolute mess and I don't want my camera getting too wet. So I will talk to you as soon as we get that done. Okay, so I'm underneath the Jeep right here. We got the valve body put back in, we got the cover back on, we got the wire hooked back up. You can see a little bit right like that. while I'm down here, I wanted to go over a little bit about the brackets here. I just realized you can't see. Jen, I need a light. Okay, so let's look at these brackets here. So this one right here on the bottom is a flat bracket that connects the cross member to the transmission mount. It's the one that you get from Jeep Speed Shop. Sorry, everything's all oily here because, well, transmission fluid went everywhere. And then you have the rubber transmission mount that you use off of the JK. At least that was on mine, so I just reused that. Then you have to buy this piece right here. Wish I could show it. That's what actually connects to the adapter to the transmission. And then so it goes a transmission adapter, then it goes this metal angle piece with the model number right there. And then it goes transmission mount with the little rubber ends on it, or rubber, whatever you call them, anti-vibration rubber things. And then it goes Jeep Speed Shop adapter plate with the 3 bolts sticking through, and then it goes to the cross member. So hopefully that helps somebody out. Jeep is fired up. You can hear it behind me. Sounding great. So we're gonna go take it for a test drive here. Fluid's all good to go, and I'll talk about that procedure in another video here, but yeah, let's go see what happens. Okay, we're in the Jeep. Got the laptop with the PCS controller on it. You know, this is so I can monitor the gear and what the actual lever says and some of the temp stuff. So I just like to see that when I'm driving around, since I've had to look at it so much since I've driven around before. But you can hear it outside. It's running good. We got a couple lights on the dash right here, but it's idling nicely. Can't say much bad about that. Temp gets up to right around that 205 point and kind of sits right around there. Camaro fan doing its job, cools it really great. So let's go ahead and do a little test drive. While I'm driving here and I'm looking this way, that's because that's where the computer's at. And so far, she's shifting good. And this is the very first drive after, you know, I cleared everything. So it's gonna shift a little bit hard right at the beginning here, but then over the next 20 miles or so, it's gonna clean up a lot. All right, here, so we're gonna get close to getting on the highway here, and I think I'm just gonna grab the camera and show you the dash for the most part while we're getting on. That way you can see kind of how the RPMs go and whatnot, but she's idling and sounding great right at the moment. shifting seems to be, you know, cleaning up a lot, which is awesome. And it puts a lot of smiles on people's faces when they hear it. All right. Okay, I just realized that that stretch of the highway was pretty much straight uphill. Well, it was downhill at the beginning, then uphill, but that's why I didn't shift very well at the end, is mostly because I was still pretty high on the RPMs and I was keeping the pedal hammered down a bit. So we'll see if that doesn't clean up just a little bit more here, but I'm gonna go ahead and drive back, and yeah, I'm gonna post this video. So remember, like and subscribe, and we're gonna keep having fun. My plan is to go wheeling this weekend here, so should be some more video coming soon here.